Hey everyone, welcome to today's 5-Minute Leader. And today I want to talk about being overworked versus challenging work. And I first came across this because the folks over at Workday sent something over to me. This is not a sponsored post in any way, but I was connecting with somebody on their people analytics team. Phil, you know who you are. Thank you. And he sent me some information, which I believe it was actually from another company called Workalytics. And so interestingly enough, there's another Phil that works there, but I digress. I was asking them if they had any interesting research around work and workplace and all that kind of stuff, because that's really what I'm interested in, especially on the data side. And I asked because there are a lot of conversations that we're having today around being overworked, right? We're burned out, we're overworked. And I'm always interested in the counter narrative. Is that really true? Are we really overworked? Are we really burned out? Are we really spending too much time working? Now, I won't get into it, but I'm very skeptical around most of those things, which a whole separate video that we can talk about. I want to buy into like 99% of that stuff, first of all. But in this particular case around being overworked, I was sent this very interesting piece of data and research. And I think I maybe even posted a screenshot of this on my LinkedIn a couple weeks ago. But it was a really interesting chart and some data that came to me, which showed that employees are not actually burned out from doing too much work. What happens is employees are actually, their engagement and they're getting burned out because they're not doing enough challenging work. And this is a very counter narrative to what we hear in mainstream media, on social platforms, and pretty much from anybody that's out there. The narrative is that all employees are working too much. They're spending too much time doing all this stuff. They can't disconnect. And because of that, their mental health is going all over the place and they're struggling and they're falling apart. But this data actually showed that that's not the case. Employees are struggling because they're not being challenged enough. They're not spending enough time doing challenging work, not the fact that they're doing too much work. So the narrative is that employees are spending too much time doing mundane work and not enough challenging work. And the research showed that when employees are doing enough challenging work, they're not actually getting burned out. They're not actually getting disengaged. It's only when they spend so much time doing mundane work. So the moral of this story is, well, twofold. One is whenever you're coming across any data or insight like this, whether it's third party or something internally inside your company, number one, ask one level deeper. So don't just look at it and say, well, employees who are working more are more disengaged, therefore employees should work less. Go one level deeper. What kind of work are they doing? Is it really because they're working too much or because they're not being challenged enough? I see this all the time with my kids at home. If my kids are doing something boring that they don't want to do, they immediately complain, I don't want to do this, I'm tired, I don't want to do that. But if I give them something challenging, for example, chess, I'm teaching my daughter how to play chess, very challenging work. She can do that for an hour, hour and a half. But if I give her just math problems and say, go solve math problems for an hour and a half, after about 5-10 minutes, she's like, this is terrible. I don't want to do this anymore. And it's because it's mundane. It's boring. Chess is challenging. She's thinking, she's stimulated, and she can do that for a long time and doesn't feel burned out or disengaged. So the second moral of this story is to ask yourself, what can you keep doing to challenge your employees, to put them in positions where they have to grow, where they have to go beyond their comfort zone, where they have to extend a little bit more, not where they're just kind of, sitting and floating around in a warm bath. So something for you to consider. Are your employees really working too much, and is that why they're burned out? Or is it because you're not challenging them and you're not pushing them and you're not giving them that kind of challenging, motivating, and exciting work to begin with? I'm willing to bet it's not because they're doing too much work. It's because they're not doing enough challenging work. That's what a lot of the data and the research says. And I love this kind of counterintuitive insight. Something for you to think about and ask questions to your team, to your employees at your company. I'll see you soon.